Alright, hello Internet. Welcome back to our Stairway to Heaven. This is going to be Heaven B. And if I remember correctly, that's Spatium? I'm about to find out. Oh no, C is Spatium. This is Aria. So we're heading into Aria. In this case, I get to keep all of my weapons and everything, just not any of my stats. I would like to actually take a quick second, because I didn't do this the last time and I meant to. Wrong thing. Here we go. So, this Muramasa Blade is one of the weapons that I have in my arsenal at the moment that is actually from Heaven C, and if I remember correctly, that's the only place you can get it. It's essentially the Samurai Drive. It's just, it takes up 2 slots, it's even more powerful, and it has joint combo. So if you can get 2 of them, which is kind of annoying, and I'll kind of show how to do that in the next video when we're doing Spatium Heaven C. But essentially you need 2 of them, you put 1 on either arm, and then you get some energy packs, because they don't heat up very quickly, and the jammer head. And this is what my character in Rengoku 2 almost always defaults to. If you're here from my actual playthrough of the story, then you know that I was trying to go for several different things at several different points. I eventually decided I wanted to do, like, you know, some sort of, like, grapple impact, but I don't know. As I was going through my second run at the tower, and as I started my third, I went through Heaven C to practice. This was all, you know, like a month and a half, 2 months ago, when I actually still intended on continuing this. I was doing all this stuff to get ready for these videos, and I don't know, like, I would rather have something that's effective than something that's a spectacle. That's something that's consistent through all of my playing games. Like, if I'm, for example, a popular example, if I'm playing Minecraft, my builds look horrible, but they do what they need to do. You know, I might, you know, move away from that in, like, MMOs and say, screw stats, I'll go with skill and just look cool. But for the most part, I'm more concerned with functionality than looks. That being said, I still think this build looks pretty cool. So let's get started. This video should be shorter than the last one, simply because all I really have to do is get enough slots to equip my proper weapons, and we'll be good to go. So, just like in Heaven A, I'm going to start at random points, and I have to find this little terminal room in order to move up. Like, the points to move up aren't actually, I don't think they're actually placed randomly. We got a little bit of slowdown there. Alright, here we go. So I need to gather up enough elixir skin in order to equip my proper weapons. And if I remember correctly, the enemies here actually have really advanced weapons, so they're going to kill me pretty quickly, but they're also going to be worth a lot of experience. You know, assuming they actually drop anything. Assuming I don't get killed in the first room. The one bright side to having low heat resist: you don't stay overheated very quick for very long. Anybody else? Okay then. Okay, so I can use anything that's 1 slot at least. I don't have any stats to worry about, so I can just use whatever. So I'm going to go with a melee build for right now. See if I can't go with something that's got a little bit of combo potential here. Ah, see, this is another from Heaven C. It's a breakdown pistol. I wonder if I should be mean. This was actually the weapon from Rengoku 1 that I wanted to show off really badly, but I could never get my hands on. This is the Antimatter Derringer. 2 shots. It's technically physical damage. It's the physical counterpart to the, what do you call it, quantum cannon. And, yeah, destructive power so immense it's no longer issued in the tower. That was the same description in the first game. Actually, you know what? I'll bring that with me just so I can show it off, because I didn't get to in the last game. But I'll probably come back and change it later. Nobody's here. So again, we're focusing on slots here. Yeah, this actually, aside from the head, this is another one of the character builds that I like to use. It's got a ton of knockdown, and then it has a combo finisher on the chest. And you use the boots to get in. I highly doubt that's a new weapon there, game, but... I'm not going to argue with you. Picking up weapons is good as well, because it means that I can recycle those, because I'm not going to be using any of the weapons that I pick up in here. Any of the weapons that I want are locked away in Heaven C, if I don't already have them. Yeah, what is that? Ogre Edge on my chest? Yeah. Ogre Edge, let me show you the description. Using it in combo attacks does greater damage. That's why I use it as a combo finisher more than anything else. Simply because the more moves that come before it, the more powerful the last attack is. Perfect. There we go. One shot overheats me. Well, probably because I have less than 2,000 heat resist, and this has 3,000 heat. And actually, because this is emulation, it's got that weird, like, black square around the graphic to it, but it's really just supposed to make everything look negative inside the field for a second. Which I think is pretty cool, but at the same time, like, it's not properly displaying because this is emulation. So, I don't know if I'll stick with this or if I'll go with something else. I kind of want to bring something that's got break shot to it, like either break shot itself or the D-Dragoon. I'm pretty sure the D-Dragoon, yeah, only has 5 shots. This thing has not really 96 uses, that's how many bullets it has, and it shoots multiple bullets at once. I think I'll bring this. We'll go with that. And we'll see what I can upgrade. Okay, so I can upgrade 2 different things, so I am going to upgrade my arms, because that means I can change off of the Torrid Sabers and over to my Muramasa Blades. And we are well on our way to ending this already. Now this is 70-70, this is 120-70. We'll go with this. And we're going to change over to this. Okay. Up we go. It's going to take a little bit of setup, and then it's basically just going to be me slicing my way through rooms. Oh. 2 critical hits. Either that or their health is just so low I'm killing them in 2 shots. I didn't really notice the first guy. So we got 2 locked rooms. Let's go through the unlocked one first. Oh yeah, their health is just so low I can kill them in 2 hits. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So Break Shot overheats me really quickly. Yeah, look at that. It goes up above half in 1 shot. I really want to... There we go. See if I can get close enough to him. You see his arm? Suddenly no weapon there. That's Breakdown. Yeah, not only do I kill them in 2 shots, but I completely fill the overkill meter in 2 shots. So I can't even do a 3rd slash to turn myself around and collect whatever they drop. Alright, I might be able to show you some of my more interesting builds, as long as we're in this particular block of heaven, because, once again, they don't worry about your stats, so the only thing that matters, really, is the stats of your weapons to start off with. Just trying to be a bit thorough on these first couple of floors, level myself up a bit. It appears that things actually are leveling up here as well. I did get some stats on my Ogre Edge, I believe it was, there right in the beginning. So what that tells me is if I equip that Overdrive head that I got in the last episode, then I'll be able to upgrade it while I'm here, which would be efficient use of my time. And yeah, I can do that little trick now because my controller works. The, like, backflip, change directions. Don't you look out of that bulldog. Sorry. I have a little mischievous dog. Okay, yeah, things are definitely leveling up here. That's a good sign. Yeah, if you value your life, you'll leave me alone. Alright, let's see what we can do. First of all, let's get rid of all that extra stuff, sort, and alright. Can I move you up to 3 slots? I can. Can't move that up to 3 slots though. Dang. Almost there. Okay, yeah, I can fit my MCon. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought my MCon took 3 slots. And I'm gonna leave the energy packs on there, but when I move it up to 3, then I'll get the sublimator coolers, and then I'll be able to use my overdrive. So I'm actually going to put that on right now, even if I'm not going to be using it, because having it equipped is how you actually level it up. Like, look at the slices down there and the stats. Rare and effect are completely maxed out. I mean, I know there are some things that just have, where is it at? Like, let me see if I can find, here, I'll go in here, because I know for a fact that, look at this, power is off the chart. So there are some things where the power, where like the stats just go off the chart, but for some reason, I have no idea why. I don't know whose bright idea it was to not make both of those things just extend like past the item window here where my cursor is. Like, that thing should just be all the way into the corner. This thing is overpowered. I guess you'll see what I mean pretty soon. Oh, okay. We're moving up in the world. Can't completely melt these guys down with just 2 slashes. Well, that's a little disappointing. Well, I guess my M-Con really is going to be like an emergency burst because it just overheated after I used it once. Pretty sure I just took a 3 burst to the face. Kind of surprised I'm still alive. 5 more elixir skin. Hey there, want to give me my 5 more elixir skin? You're a pal. Alright, so I'm probably going to be cutting the video here pretty soon. Just because the minute I'm able to do this and I show it off, there's basically going to be no point for you just sitting here watching me just slaughter things. I'll demonstrate it. You can freak out if you haven't played the game. If you have played the game, you could freak out even more if you've never actually used this thing, because it's really not fair. And then we'll move on to the boss fights. Not really much else to see here. Oh, I'm not going to have that equipped all that often now, am I? So I guess I better just stick with this. Okay, so let's move up the floor, and here we go. But wait, what about leveling up my other stats? They are now irrelevant. Except for the part where I just had on the wrong... whatever. I'm supposed to start that with my energy packs equipped. And I always second guess myself. Oh no, I might actually have to fight my way through this floor, just like the last two. And by fight, I basically mean try not to get hit with 2,000 points of damage while I deal 10,000 points of damage in one rotation of my buttons. Dead serious, like, weren't these things labeled as doing 5,700 damage each? That was with my multipliers. I forget that I don't have my multipliers right now. Wow, I don't even have my stats, and I'm still doing this much damage. Yeah, you won't really see these things shine until there's multiple enemies in the room, and I might actually have to, like, skip to different parts of the challenge mode playthrough so you can see that. Ow. There has to be more than one enemy in the room for this to really be impressive. Oh, hey, here we go. I'm sorry, did you just shoot a laser at me? I'm in overdrive. None of that counts anymore. Oh, by the way, don't know if you noticed, but the sublimator cooler only took 1 point of energy out of the 200% that it has to cool this thing from 100 to 0 and make it completely usable again. So at this stage, I don't actually need to do anything else to my stats. I'm not kidding. I'm done. That's it. Victory is mine. I should, actually, save my game. I'm using speed-ups to get through that little animation. But yeah, watch my energy. Energy's not going down, heat's not going up. I should actually bring out some, let's see. What would be a good weapon that actually doesn't have joint combo, but that actually combos pretty well? I think the, break bunkers do that, because the first attack actually stuns, it doesn't do knockback. Oops. It actually makes me, overdrive actually makes me swing faster as well. Hey, you see the little, like, graphic effects that's popping up around me? Like, they're hitting, but they're not doing any damage. Yeah, let's see. This is how fast I can swing with it. And it's a little bit slower without it. So if this wasn't meant to be obtained in Heaven C, I feel like it should have been only in Heaven C, and only if you reach the top, and then only a random drop. Like, something like the Derringer was in Rengoku 1, where it was so overpowering that you could kill pretty much anything in one shot, even if you weren't a bullet-type character. That's how strong that weapon was in that last game. I feel like that's what this should have been. Something that you almost never see, and then if you see it, you almost never get. And then when you finally do get it, the rest of the game is trivial. Like, I'm sure you've seen by now. I'm invincible. I don't lose any energy. There's no heat gain. There's no reason for me to touch my stats anymore for this entire run through challenge mode. I'm done. I win. It's broken. I can't really think of anything else that would help me out here. Guess I'll just pump my health up. And move on. And I'll run through 1 or 2 more floors, I guess. Or maybe I'll reach the first boss. And then I'll cut to the second boss, and then I'll cut to the third boss, and then we can just move on with our lives, eh? Actually woke up late today, so I don't know if I'll have the kind of time that I had yesterday. What is cutting the video to you guys for a couple of seconds, oh, screwed that up, might actually be the difference between today and tomorrow for me. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Worst case scenario, I'll just cut at a terminal, like right before I exit a terminal, and then just load the game back up tomorrow, so I'm standing in front of that terminal. So I don't even need the overdrive either. The Muramasa blades are just that powerful. It makes me want to do something else, because I feel like I'm cheating. I haven't played this game in so long. High linear. I wish I had more than one of those. I don't know, let's have a look at my stats here. Slash is halfway up. Impact is like 20%. So I could essentially do whatever I want. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I got it. Now, let's see. Some of these ones that I would like to have 2 of, I only have 1 of, just because I haven't done Heaven C more than once, and I didn't feel like grinding out finding each of them. But it's looking like I'm gonna have to go with single slot stuff for my arms. Okay. Alright, so here we go. This will be a little bit more, I don't want to say fair, but at least a little bit more, it won't be as ridiculous. Or maybe it will. This is what happens when you use a charge weapon in overdrive. So, yeah. I guess it's actually a little bit more ridiculous than me using my swords. Because with this, it's just hold X, let go of X. Hold X, let go of X. See if I can find the terminal room and see if I can't show you guys the full burst, the homing missiles, because the homing missiles are just as crazy. So there's the charge weapon demonstration of using this thing. Now I'll show you the impact weapon demonstration. This applies to everything except for bullet types, simply because bullet types are already like projectile based, and if you've got the proper equipment on your legs, coolers and ammo packs, you really don't even need overdrive. In this game, bullet types are pretty much just easy mode, but then doing a fully grapple-focused character is also easy mode, because the combos just get so powerful and so ridiculous, it's basically like your opponent shouldn't even be moving. Alright, so where... oh, I probably already passed it. Yep, here we go. Let's put full burst there. And what am I going to use for... oh, we're here. I'll show off the break bunkers as well, because they don't have a joint combo, but everything has joint combo in overdrive. So alright, here goes. Okay, well, I'm back. If you're watching these videos in real time, then you know that that actually was quite a long cut. I don't know if that was a couple of days or nearly a week. But I woke up late to record, and then my mother got home early and didn't tell me she was coming home early. So I'm gonna have to cut out a little bit there at the end of the previous clip where she's walking into the room saying hi to the dog. I also got, as you could probably tell, a little bit sick since then. So I'm gonna try to push through this and finish this off because it's something that I started. I did watch the recording, so I know what I was talking about. Impact stuff. Basically, impact weapons are damage controlled and whatnot by their ammo and their heat capacity, and overdrive just craps all over that. Like, all of that doesn't matter. Kind of confused as to how that didn't kill him. Look at that. I can just smack people with pile bunkers over and over because these specific ones don't actually have blow away on the initial punch. It's not until the burst. I used that a little prematurely. Alright, come here, you. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? So, things get a little unfair. Not even a little, they just get completely unfair once this Overdrive HD is involved. And I'm sure by now, anybody watching has probably figured out why it is that I chose to go with the melee side for the main playthrough. Especially going with like comboing and whatnot, not like what I'm doing here. But I mean, like, you know, using the Lunatic Blade because it's got several swings, and then using, like, Tomahawk for knockdown, and then, like, the Ogre Edge there on my chest for blow away. Like, actually making combos out of this stuff and focusing on having to dodge and everything. And the reason why I did that, I'm sure you've noticed, is that it's a lot more entertaining to watch. Because if I just sit here and I use the Muramasa Blade and I use the Overdrive HD and, like, all it is the same thing over and over again, then, you know, there's not really that much entertainment value behind it, which is why I need to try to be more entertaining with what I'm talking about. And the reason why I stuck with that for so long, again, as you've probably noticed if you've watched my other videos, is that despite the fact that in Rengoku 2 they really upped the ante with the ranged weapons, it doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of, like, again, entertainment value. It's great. I mean, it's flat out perfect for, you know, improvements to the game, because they give the guns a lot more variety and whatnot. Wow, did that just straight up overheat my chest? That totally did. Okay. I should have the game volume turned down enough that that's not, like, overpoweringly loud to you like it is to me. Excuse me. But still. And I'm going to be cutting the video once again here in another floor or so I can get to the next boss fight and I don't bore the crap out of you guys, because where I am just restarting, you guys have been watching for about half an hour now, if I remember the length of the previous clip correctly. So to kind of offset that, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the boss, fight the boss. Matter of fact, let's see. Will I use my Jammerhead? I will probably use my Jammerhead. Or you know what? Let's be a little bit creative about this. Oh wait, don't I have my... I do. I have my Torrid Sabers. Forgot I got those. And my Ogre Edge. I don't think there's anything else melee related that I can equip. I do have this thing. Can't really show that off properly yet, sadly. And since this is going to be melee style, I don't need the coolant. I can bring repair systems. Okay. Try to be a little bit creative about this boss fight instead of just walking in there and activating the overdrive and moving on with my life. Like Han, good to see you again. Look at that, they even added a glowing graphic to his chest piece. But wait, haven't I been going through this whole thing not upgrading stuff? Wouldn't that kind of cause a problem in boss fights? Well, yeah, but that's why it's challenge mode. And that's why I brought these, actually, because now he's completely overheated, and he can't do anything. The trouble is, he still has an advanced mobulator, so he can move faster than me, even when he's overheated. Yeah, there we go, see? Ugh. Jeez, that's awful. Oh, and that just throws me back down to the beginning of the tower. Well, good thing I have a save state. So, screw it, I'll keep it in. Bang. Now, I've actually crippled myself. I didn't even consider that. because I haven't been upgrading my stuff and I've been relying on this thing to kind of show it off, I haven't been using anything to upgrade my stats. And since I haven't been upgrading my stats, it's going to be nearly impossible to fight these bosses without actually continuing to rely on this stuff. Will you come here? Ow! I'm not in the boss fight yet. Get over here. I hate that mobulator when I'm not using it. So I guess the moral of the story here is don't make the same mistakes I do. And record for YouTube and try to show off a particular thing and then come to completely rely on it because you're dumb and have no foresight. I mean, I don't need to completely rely on it because the Muramasa blades are just so powerful. And they keep me moving while I'm attacking. And they can technically take out half of an opponent's health in one swing. Max health. I made that comment to a coworker of mine, and he was like, "Oh, so then you never killed him." I go, "Well, you're right when you say it like that." Killed that guy before I barely even saw him. H.E.A.V.E.N is going to be very different from this as well, even though this is already pretty different from H.E.A.V.E.N, like the playthrough of H.E.A.V.E.N. I mean, obviously they're all different, but the style of video that you're going to see is different as well. With H.E.A.V.E.N, I was able to just kind of go through the whole thing, no big deal. H.E.A.V.E.N quickly becomes the same thing over and over again, especially when I'm using this kind of strategy. But then you get H.E.A.V.E.N where it's all completely unpredictable. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. He can't even do anything. I mean, technically that would have happened without the Overdrive HD, I suppose, but still. I also don't remember him having any plasma weapons in the first game. But be that as it may, that is the first boss of H.E.A.V.E.N, and now you should see a cut to the next boss, and I'll see you there. Alright, we're back. Next boss. Sphinx. I'm not actually being creative with him because he is a threat. See how unsatisfying that is? See how just like, oh hey boss, oh hey, boom, oh hey I win. That's what the floors up to this point have been like. It hasn't been that long, and I don't even think it's been 30 minutes. I have been upgrading my stats. Like, I've actually been working on my defense and whatnot, and I noticed a pattern. Actually, I want to talk about that before I make another cut to the next boss fight. I noticed a pattern. This is supposed to be a challenge mode, and, for the life of me before, I could never figure out why this would be considered a challenge mode. All you have to do is just, get enough stats to wield your proper weapons and you're good to go. And anytime in the past, I never really worried about, like, oh, well, I'm using the Overdrive HD here, let me level that up and like rely completely on that. It was always my jammer head and my guns and my 3 or 4 other characters that I would make, but never this thing. I've never done it with this thing before, and so I noticed a pattern. And that pattern is that the rate at which enemies grow stronger in this particular section of heaven is much faster than what you can keep up with. Like, I'm getting weapons that are only supposed to drop in your second or third run of the main tower. I think I ran into, like, it wasn't Break Bunker. What was it that I ran into that was like, oh, holy crap. Oh, I know. I thought it was something that was only supposed to drop in Heaven, actually. Where is it? I ran into this. Rank G Rail Cannon. The Rank G Rail Cannon is, like... Let's see, where is, the wrong button there. Okay, so this thing is the Rank D Rail Cannon. This is the highest powered one from the previous game. I don't think the description changes at all. It doesn't, but look at the difference in the attacks. Has the same amount of ammo, only 50 more heat gain per shot. Like, there's not that big of a difference. Why would this even exist? Because it's a more powered up version. Like, why? Because we can, is the essential reason behind that. And so I found that, and I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's not right. And so I started paying closer attention to the weapons that I was picking up, and this is stuff that I'm not supposed to be able to get until I'm in, like, the third run of the tower. Like, now I'm kind of hoping that they drop another, Virgilius. Or, what is it, the High Linear? Yeah, I'm hoping they drop another High Linear so that I can, show off my style for that, because I use those for roll attacks. Yeah, turn. Okay, these guys are dropping Samurai Drive 2. I've taken to using this thing actually so I can up my impact even more, because I do keep the stats that I earn from doing this, and I want to sort of balance my character out, and I'll use this challenge mode to do it. But I'm going to make a cut to the next boss fight here, because what you're going to end up seeing is the same thing over and over again. And unless you want me sitting here talking about completely unrelated games, because I've been obsessing over a couple of them recently, this is going to have to be where it ends. I do want to sort of wrap up the AI talk that I've done in the previous playthrough, and I think a little bit in this one as well, in our final video. Not in the next video. The next video is going to be Heaven C. The final video is going to be sort of a credits run type thing. I'll show the end of the game and, like, you know, sort of give a full critique at that point. And I'll finish up the AI talk while I'm doing it. Just a little update on things to come, I guess. And yeah, I've been upping my defense so that, you know, if I do have to do something besides use this thing, I am at least somewhat functional. Ooh, another KOD. Did I have 2 of those yet? Oh, I need C KOD. Okay. Sometimes I forget because I'm so used to the original game that there are more versions in this game. Alrighty, yeah, I'm gonna make a cut to the next boss fight. I'll see you guys there. Okay, as you can see, I'm not at the boss room. I just wanted to point something out. I just got an E.P.A.C. add-on Omega in Heaven B. When I said that this stuff was escalating out of control, I wasn't kidding. These things are unbelievably strong. I'm really surprised that I didn't remember this. Well, then again, there's a lot of things I didn't remember, but, you know, the bottom line is, holy crap. On the long list of unexpected things, I didn't expect that. I suppose add that to the list, I don't know. Although it's not an Omega Plus. Look at that. Negates 100% of all attacks that drain equipment energy. Breakdown stuff. I think I said a long time ago in the playthrough that the leg equipment was meant for support. So like the gyro balancer will keep you from getting lifted up, blown away, knocked down, knocked back, etc. Laser jammer, excuse me, dissipates, like, you don't even need an upgraded version of this thing. It's just ridiculous. It negates so much damage from plasma weapons. It makes plasma weapons almost completely useless, and it's one of the reasons why I never use plasma, because there's nothing like that for bullet types. But then you get into like repair systems. This is a repair system Omega, and it only negates 85% of all critical attacks. Critical attacks are like what I use with the Muramasa blades here. If I hit an enemy and that custom effect goes off, then 50% of their max HP is drained immediately. It's kind of a rare effect, but it happens. And then there's this thing. It protects against overheating, but what I guess it doesn't say. Oh, Supermobulator. Okay. I guess what it doesn't say is in the earlier versions, if I'm not mistaken, this will also actually raise. Yeah. Okay. It says it right there. It raises your heat defense. Supermobulator. It protects against slow, so anybody who uses Hellfire or Napalm grenades, that sort of thing, where it creates like a pool on the ground, that'll prevent that. Like, all of these things all have some kind of extra use to them, beyond just providing ammo or whatever. And so, I want to find an E.P.E.K. add-on Omega Plus, because that will actually use the side steps and whatnot. Like, the way that I dodge right now is the way that I want to keep dodging. It gives you more distance. Although, that being said, this thing is so useful that if I don't find an E.P.E.K. add-on plus, I'm probably just going to use the Omega. Right now, I think I was just able to max out... this thing's not even maxed out yet. And it's got 13 uses, so it's going to have 14 at the maximum, which means that this thing starts off with 5, it would have had 15. So it's 1 extra, but I lose my sidestep. It's kind of a debate, but anyway, I'm going to keep going. I'll see. Okay, once again, not at the boss, but finding some pretty surprising things. First of all, I found these hammers. Earthshaker. Look at how fast they swing. The other hammers do not swing that fast. I actually just tested it with Elephant, and it swings probably about 50% faster than the Elephant. It's also pretty strong. I'll show them off in just a second, but the other things that I've been finding have been like High Linear, which I thought only dropped in Heaven C. Heat Sword J Max, which, again, thought only dropped in Heaven C. Dante, I know, drops in the tower. I don't remember where. I'm pretty sure that the first time you see it is actually up in Paradisus. Your first time up on floor 8. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember very well. But that being said, these hammers, I was pretty shocked. Because I don't remember ever finding these before. Look at this. It's like the Muramasa blade, just without the crazy moving around and junk. And I'm pretty sure they already have joint combo. Like, hang on. Oh, no, they don't. Okay. So, in other words, without that, I would just go 1, 2. Actually added the extra slot to my arm so that I could test these out without fully committing to it and, like, screwing myself over for a floor. But this is really cool. Okay, there's CKOD. Okay. So, that's one that I sat in Heaven C for a while. That one for sure I've only ever seen in Heaven C, and I might be in a little bit of trouble. Oh, no, I'm not. Will you break this for me? Thank you. Oh, we're not done yet. Yeah, things have been getting pretty crazy, in terms of, like, enemy strength and whatnot, and enemy numbers. Especially in these larger rooms. The floor layouts have been a little confusing, too. It's just about finding the, elevator. Things have been steadily leveling up and whatnot. If nothing else, the Muramasa blades are flashy. Okay, 7 Death's Blade. No. Alright, no. That's H.E.A.V.E.N. This is stuff that, like, this is some really rare stuff. I did not know about this. I might have to spend some time on floor 65 and just, like, screw around for a little bit and see what I can find. Because, again, with the Muramasa blades, I can tear through the overkill meter in an instant. Also, I don't really need overdrive that much anymore. I've been upgrading my health and defense like crazy. So I'm starting to catch up to these guys, but they can still kill me if I don't keep moving. I'm not the unstoppable maniac that I am in the normal tower right now. Oh, did that? Yeah, okay. Hang on, I kill this guy. Okay, this is actually a good chance for me. So, there is an actual overdrive drop. Here's overdrive HD. This is, what? Maybe 10 seconds? 15 seconds? Something like that? That's not very long. I'm gonna grab this thing. Much longer. Maybe about another 5 extra seconds. I don't know if the Overdrive HD actually gets longer as the custom effect levels up. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't even know if it has that stat. But it certainly doesn't last as long as the pickups do. Right, let's see. Yeah, no, it doesn't even have custom effect. It's just energy gain and heat resistance. So right now it's at 5,700. And I believe that the highest you can have is actually 5,000 heat resist. So there's absolutely nothing you can do, even leveling it up all the way, to keep it from overheating you the very first time you... Oh, hey, that's zero shift. I mean, I'll be a monkey's uncle if anybody with teleportation ever gets the best of me, because I played so much Zone Avengers, but... Still. It's like, if anybody here plays Destiny, there's a lot of teleportation going on in that game where enemies will just like dodge aside, and when they dodge they use teleportation, but they leave like a trail of mist right before and like immediately after they teleport. And anything that teleports that has a tell like that, I don't find to be a challenge at all, especially after, like I said, playing so much Zone Avengers. Yeah, like, look at this stuff. This isn't that much of a surprise, neither is that, but like these. Maybe not the Gyro Balancer 3, I think I've already got a bunch of those. Or I've picked a bunch of them up before. Yeah, Gyro Balancer 3 is not that big of a surprise, but like, I'm gonna sort this in a second and you'll see. Here we go. 7 Death's Blade. This is stuff that I found in H.E.A.V.E.N that I had to sit, like, to get 2 of them, I actually had to sit down and farm the final room several times to try to get a second one to drop before I could kill the last enemy that has a guaranteed drop. And you'll understand more of what I mean when I get there. The CKOD as well, like, it's an axe, and I love the axe, and I wanted it, so I sat down and I farmed for it. Something like the Crazy SP right here is one of those that drops only in H.E.A.V.E.N as far as I know. Something like Drain Jack up here. That's a like a drain style. Whoa there. It's a drain style hammer. So you smack people and it does breakdown. Break Shot's another. The 20mm Vulcan is another. There's a lot of weapons that I have that I've hung on to, and here we go, High Linear. Now that I actually have this, I'm going to throw it on so you can see how I use it. And it's actually really useful as a projectile weapon for interrupts. I'm going to get rid of the Earth Shakers for a minute. Actually, I'm probably not going to use those anymore for now. They're really good for leveling up my impact, though, so I'll probably make use of those in the tower. Just playing on my own. And do I have enough? I do. Okay. Yeah, my health and defense is getting pretty up there. So, let's equip those. And we are on 64, so here we go, floor 65. I'm sorry, that's awful. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, fine. Actually, now that I think about it, it is better to have the energy pack add-on Omega without the plus, because the rolling attacks don't work with the sidestep. I just noticed that. Or maybe I just re-noticed that. I don't know, but look at this. It's so simple, but for some reason it confounds the AI. I don't think I ever tried it on my friend, though, so I don't know how well it would work on a player. There we go. So I'm definitely going to create a save file here, so I can have a look around. Because these enemies are obviously using really advanced stuff that I want to get my hands on. Yeah, there's the Carl Gustav 4000, okay. Yeah. New liquid cooler. I have new sublimator cooler, I'm good. Pretty sure that guy just zero shifted right into me slashing. High Roller Remix isn't all that surprising. You can get that in the tower. It's a little difficult for me to say much right now just because, I mean, for one, I don't want to strain my voice that much. It's another reason for all the cuts in this, as well as upload times, because I do want to get this up today. But then on top of that, much of what I have to say is going to be related to like 2 or 3 of the games that I've been playing recently that I've been absolutely nerding out. I got back into Destiny a little bit, and I don't want to talk about that game because that's going to be full of criticism and negativity, and you don't want to hear that. It's fun to play with friends, but there are so many missteps on that game, it hurts. Like, it physically hurts. And then I've been playing, like, Undertale. I discovered Face Rig, and I highly recommend Face Rig, and you're going to see something from it, from me, in the near future, because that's how I'm going to be doing my channel updates. Potentially. Like, I have to try it and make sure that it works and everything, and I can actually get it to record and whatnot properly, but once I can get all that figured out, then yeah, I'm definitely going to be using that as my channel updates. I'll be doing some story talk as well. Pretty sure I already said it, but it is actually possible to swing faster than normal when you're in overdrive, which might actually be skewing my opinion of the Earth Shaker a little bit. I mean, I did test it raw against the elephant, so it's not like I'm saying, oh, you can definitely swing it faster. No, you can't. I didn't test it properly. No, I was definitely sitting there swinging one and then the other, and it was faster. But at the same time, like I pointed out, it doesn't have joint combo, so Earthshaker's not as good as I'm actually giving it credit for. It's just really good with overdrive, which I suppose anything would be good with overdrive. It's overdrive. Let's see. Yeah, we gotta keep to the exterior for now. And nope, nothing. Oh, I think I recognize this floor layout actually. Hang on, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Maybe not necessarily backtrack, I'll probably just go through a series of other rooms real quick. Yep, there we go. Alrighty, I'm gonna make an extra save here, and I'll see if I can lure out any other rare weapons and whatnot, but I'm gonna do that later. Check and see if I can upgrade anything else. I can. Keep the high linear and stuff on. Keep what I got. I will, however, replace my energy pack. And that did not replace as I had expected it to. There we go. So, get rid of that. I already have enough CKOD, I don't need any more. Don't need any more of that, don't need any more of that. Okay. And sort, and can I use that to upgrade anything else? More health, I guess. I will save over this, which is the extra file. I will save over this, which is my H.E.A.V.E.N file, and I believe we're good to go. So here goes nothing. Now we all know who this is. Not lay down, dog. Nope. Nope. Can't sit in front of me while I'm doing this. Lay down. Oh! Ready, go. Sorry, buddy. Not in the mood for you. In fact, I hardly ever am. Invader Q? What? Okay, you know what? How about no? Sorry about the like blasting music in your ears. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to go with no. That's odd. I thought I had the clock down system. Where is that? Why don't I have that? Or maybe I'm only thinking of the previous game. I don't know. That's a bit confusing to me. Okay, for real this time. I'm not gonna do you like that, Griffiths. That's just messed up. Hold still for 2 seconds. There we go. Okay, there, see, I've upped my defense so much. Ow. Right up to the part where he overheats every body part I've got. Oh, whoa! Ha! Yeah, that thing that he keeps punching the ground with is something that you're supposed to get in the DLC that I can't get because this is an emulation. They're anchors. Like, I know what they are, but I can't get them. Or maybe I can if I, like, do something that I don't know how to do. Mess with the game somehow. Oh, yeah, look at him adjusting his aim. He doesn't need lock-on. Not like me, because I have clunky controls. The AI just does really well with this. Come on, buddy. You better die before I get to the Muramasa blades, or it's gonna end up just like it did before. Ow. Yeah, look at that. He's got gyro balancer, plus clock down system, plus, whatchamacallit, high roller. Ow. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, look at that. That's how that's supposed to go. Am I going to leave it at that? No. No, I'm not. Probably should, but I'm not. Because I am technically stronger than that, I just feel like I'm cheating. I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. Like, you can liken it to an RPG where you grind too much, and then you get to the final boss, and it's just really easy, and you just slaughter them and move on with your life. And it's like, oh, okay, well, all of that build-up was for nothing. Cool, thanks, game. That's not satisfying at all. Like, the difference in power is overwhelming, and it's just because I have 2 swords. I don't need overdrive to do that. Like, I can destroy him just with these Muramasa blades. That's how powerful they are. Look at that. He dropped 82,000 elixir skin. 82,000. I don't know if I should use that or not. But anyway. So that's H.E.A.V.E.N. Ramps up really fast. Drops really rare items. And you're essentially just in charge of managing your stats well enough to keep up with all this crap. I'm going to bring us back down here and see what sort of effects it excuse me, has on my stats. Yeah, so my bullet's up to ×3 from doing Heaven A the way that I did. I'll max out my heat resists. This stuff's still gonna take a while. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to re-outfit myself. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I'm about to turn around and go to H.E.A.V.E.N, and it's going to remove all of my stuff anyway. But I do get to keep all of my stats, which is why I wanted to hang on to all of that elixir skin. Yeah, see, technically the way to the end is open already because I've cleared Heaven Sea, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that on camera. Sort of. I'm going to show the end on camera. I'm going to show like the first couple of floors so you get what's going on. And then I'm going to jump to the end of Heaven Sea, and that's going to be all well and done in maybe 30 minutes, something like that. It's really not going to take that long for you to understand what's going on, for me to show the ending, and then for me to load up this save file. And actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I am going to do that on camera, but I'm going to do that on camera in a different way. I have multiple save files. I'll just use a different save file. But I'm going to outfit myself for that final room, and I'm not going to use the Overdrive HD. I will keep that for if I decide to play this game just on my own and I, like, whatever. Just, no, I'm not doing that. I'm supposed to keep the optic camouflage, and what else? Do I even want to bring anything else? I'm supposed to bring the shock absorber. I don't have any of those upgraded anyway. I am going to use the Baramasa blades, especially in that final room, because dear lord, that final room is insane. And now the question is, Break Bunker or Banisher? Banisher. That's not even a question. And then I'm going to bring the Earth Shakers as my last resort. Those are actually really good. And again, probably giving them more credit than they deserve, but I don't care. Now, the M-Con is not as powerful as it was when I used to use it, because I have avoided Plasma almost entirely this playthrough, which is kind of a mistake on my part. But I'm going to bring it anyway, because it's good to clear the area around me, and I kind of need that in the final room. I'll bring the Ogre Edge, and I'll probably put something in between them. Like, maybe the Particle Violator? Oh, I know. I'll bring my Plasma Armor, just in case things get a little too crazy. And I will bring one of those, one of those, one of those. That is a very familiar sight to me, that character model. And I will save this twice, once here and once in the H.E.A.V.E.N file. And the H.E.A.V.E.N file is what I'm going to use to go into Heaven Sea. And then I can just reload back here, and we can move on. So I'll see you guys in the next part. We'll finish up Heaven, and we'll probably finish up the game in the next episode, if it's short enough. And that'll be it for Rengoku. We'll be moving on to maybe a long video of H.E.A.V.E.N. I don't know if I'll have to split that up or not. It depends on how long the video is. Depends on how long the game takes me to beat. And then we'll be moving into Chaos Legion. And depending on how things go, I might be playing Chaos Legion and Metroid Prime at the same time. And just like episode of Chaos Legion, episode of Metroid Prime. Chaos Legion, Metroid Prime. And I'll try to get through like one boss every time I play in Metroid. We'll see how that goes. I'm more playing that for a friend than anything, because he wants to play the Metroid games. Like, he likes Metroid, he just doesn't... He hasn't given Metroid Prime a chance, really. And he also doesn't have the system to play it on anyway. So, I have the whole trilogy. I don't feel like setting up my Wii. I don't have recording software for my Wii anyway, so I need to try to get the emulator down for that. But once the Chaos Legion Metroid thing is over, it'll be the live translation of Black Rock Shooter the game. And I don't know if I'm doing Dark Souls or not. I'm not sure. I'll see. I'll decide on that when I get to it, I guess. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll finish off H.E.A.V.E.N. Later.